Well, UK police have launched an investigation into two controversial sets at Glastonbury Music Festival. The punk duo Bob Vylan have drawn fury from Parliament and Jewish groups after chanting "Death to the IDF."
No more music, just sweaty car journeys and hangovers for those leaving Worthy Farm. But nothing in comparison to the mother of all headaches facing the BBC. With police now launching a criminal investigation after reviewing footage broadcast from Glastonbury Festival this weekend. It comes after the Prime Minister and media watchdog Ofcom asked why whoever was running this live stream didn't pull the plug on it after political rockers Bob Vylan said this.
Death to the IDF! Death to the IDF!
Comments widely criticised as anti-Semitic and which the BBC now accepts should not have been broadcast. The matter is being talked about on an altogether more serious stage now.
He makes an extremely important point about accountability, and that is something that is not lost on me as the Secretary of State and something that I've impressed upon the BBC leadership as well. When you have one editorial failure, it's something that must be gripped. When you have several, it becomes a problem of leadership.
While hindsight will be being used to excuse the behaviour of many who leave here with regrets, the BBC is now hoping to run with that as well. With calls from some quarters for Director General Tim Davie to resign. In an updated statement, the corporation saying the anti-Semitic sentiments expressed were utterly unacceptable and have no place on our airwaves. The team were dealing with a live situation, but with hindsight, we should have pulled the stream. We regret this did not happen.
There's the question of whether the broadcaster, the BBC, was also likely to have stirred up racial hatred by broadcasting this and by not pulling the plug. And you mentioned the crowd, and that's a significant thing because, as I see it, you've got to look at the performance as a whole. You've got to look at the way in which the crowd reacted.
Dropped by their agent, and ahead of appearances in America, the State Department confirming it's revoked the band's work visas, saying foreigners who glorify violence and hatred are not welcome visitors to our country. No apology, but this message from its frontman. As I lay in bed this morning, my phone buzzing non-stop, inundated with messages of both support and hatred, I listened to my daughter typing as she fills out a school survey. Teaching our children to speak up for the change they want is the only way that we make this world a better place. After calling for people to be killed, few would accept Bob Vylan or in any position to lecture others on the right thing to do. Certainly not Sir Keir Starmer, who has said there can be no excuse for that chant and that it absolutely should not have gone to air. While Glastonbury's coverage shouldn't be held to the same standard of impartiality expected of news programming, Ofcom has said it's very concerned and wants to know what procedures were in place to ensure the BBC's own editorial guidelines would be met. Back to real life for those leaving Worthy Farm. A sobering reality check for the BBC as it fields renewed calls for answers.